Welcome to the Write Like a Badass podcast. Lydia M. Hawk writes stories for women who own their power, a bold blend of urban fantasy, myth, and dark magic. In Lydia's books, women of a certain age save the world because experience is the most powerful magic of all. Can you tell I'm loving this? Her heroines don't wait to be rescued. They're witches, warriors, and wise women who've lived long enough to know their power and they're not afraid to use it. Lydia's mission is to reclaim the word crone for what it truly is, a crown, not an insult. Now, for those who don't know, crone is one of the life stages of a witch. It comes after maiden and mother. Lydia is Canadian, so when she's not writing, she's all about consuming dangerous. I had to do it.
And I don't pronounce it a boot. It is
I,
about.
I don't know the Quebec accent. I'm in Detroit. We're right across the river from Ontario, so
Yeah,
we hear a lot more of that. So I just had to go for it.
you do
She
it.
consumes dangerous amounts of coffee, which I think she's doing right now. Spoils her grandkids, wrangles her menagerie of pets, and convinces her garden to cooperate. Welcome, Lydia.
Thank you ever so much. I am absolutely delighted to be here, Maureen. Thank you for the invitation.
Oh, I'm happy to have you. So, what got you started writing, and why do you write dark fantasies and romances?
Is it dark fantasy? A
Oh,
little bit dark. Yeah,
correct
some
me.
some of it's pretty dark, actually. Yeah, no, I'm thinking through. I have to go through all the books that I've written. Yeah, I've kind of run the gamut from contemporary romantic comedy and the early stages of my career. I thought that I was going to be a romance writer, and then I got bit by this bug. We were watching the movie City of Angels. Do you remember that one? And
Yes.
Sarah McLachlan's song, and the safe in the arms of the angels. And I'm sitting in the theater and I'm going, but what if it wasn't safe in the arms of an angel?
Oh,
And from that, I ended up writing, I started writing what I thought would be a paranormal romance with Sins of the Angels. And about halfway through that book, I'm going, yeah, no, this is not just one book. It's going to be two. And by the end of the second, I'm like, yeah, no, it's three. Wait, no, it's four. And it was definitely that one, that series, The Grigori Legacy, is what I would call, what a lot of people call supernatural thriller. So it is definitely on the darker side, more on the apocalyptic side. I'm not sure why I write things like that. My sister once told me that after having read it, she was a little scared at the thought that she'd shared a bedroom with me for so many years, which I thought was hilarious. But I guess I just like to explore those the possibilities, what human nature is going to do in those moments of true darkness when the all is lost idea is there. And then the books that I'm writing now, those came into play when I was approaching my 60th birthday, and I was kind of at a loss, at a crossroads. I had a few books published, none of them had really taken off, and I was not ready to quit. I was only going to be 60, gosh darn it. And I didn't see why life had to end at 60. And I was tired of feeling like I'd been shuffled off to the side, as society tends to do with us at
Mhm.
a certain age. My friends and I were talking, and they were experiencing the same invisibility feelings, and nobody was listening anymore, and we'd somehow become irrelevant just because of our age, in a season where I think that we should be more relevant than ever, because we bring experience and knowledge, and there's a certain wisdom that goes with that, the experience and the knowledge that we've gained at this stage of life. And honestly, I think the world would benefit greatly from that wisdom. Once upon a time, crones were the leaders. They were the women who had influence in communities. And I'm going to venture into the whole patriarchy thing because I'm not a fan of the patriarchy. And thank
Same.
you. Yeah. And I think that the patriarchy made a very concerted effort turn Crone into a bad thing and to remove women from any kind of influence that we had. I don't know that, I mean, the whole matriarchal society idea, the matriarchy is not, we're not asking for a flip of power. The matriarchy does not hold power. The matriarchy looks after the community. It looks after the land. It looks after the children. It makes sure there's a future for the children. It's not about control. It's not about a power grab. So I like to think that the patriarchy is it's on its last legs right now, and I'm writing stories to remind women that we are still relevant, that we still hold power, that we have magic, because we do have magic that comes with this stage of life.
We have magic and we have knowledge. And not just women. I'm working on a piece myself, a novel, and I just reached a point where the woman, who is in her 60s, is with a man and he is reflecting on the mistakes he's made. And he says, why did I have to get old before I figured things out, before I realized what was important? But we
Yeah,
do. We
we
do figure things out.
we do, and I think that yeah, we do. We figure things out. We're smarter, we're wiser, and we should not be ignored because we have things that we can teach. We have ways that we can help. We can save the world, Maureen.
And we are ready to do so.
We are.
Lydia, you are prolific. You have written three series under the name of Lydia M. Hawk, another two as Linda. Is it Poitevin?
Close enough, yes.
Okay. You picked a pen name that's hard to pronounce. That's okay. That's
It's French.
uh,
Everything's hard to pronounce in French.
and you're in Quebec. I should have, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry. If I've done the math correctly, you have written 18 books.
I have, yes.
How did you do this?
It's taken me a very, very long time. I mean, I started writing, my first published book was in 2010. So I've been at this for, I can math, 11 years? No, it's longer than that. No, wait, 16 years. Whoa.
I don't
Okay,
do
now
math
I'm
in my
feeling
head.
old.
I let you work that out. I don't do math in my head. I'm a
I
writer,
don't
not
I
an
don't do
accountant.
math well in my head.
We're about the words. Do your books sell?
The Crone series is doing very, very well. And the spin-off, people are starting to discover the spin-off trilogy, the Obsidian Sisterhood, because well, it's not really a spin-off, it's a parallel trilogy.
Mm.
And before the next book in the Crone series comes out, I am highly encouraging people to read that Obsidian Sisterhood trilogy because there are pieces in there that they will want to have before. The book 6 in the Crone Wars is Return of the Crone, and it brings the main characters from both series together in an epic quest. So that's I'm having a lot of fun with it.
We are going to
Tough
put
to write.
links, of course, to all of your books in the show notes so people can go right there.
Thank
Uh,
you.
who are your readers? I guess my follow-up question is, women over 60 read a lot of books, a lot of fiction, but do people have to be women over 60 to appreciate them?
Interestingly, I have a number of male readers, men who are probably not part of that patriarchy, suppose, because they wouldn't enjoy the books that I'm writing. But I have a number of male readers who really enjoy the series, and I have a lot of younger women who are in their 30s, and they what they like about it is the reassurance that life does not end at 60, because we're you don't see much of women after the age of 60, and it's like, what, do they just disappear? Do we have to stop? And the answer to that is no. We're still here, we're still valuable, we're still relevant, and yeah, we're still fighting. We still have life in us, Maureen.
And the roles many of us have, for instance, your grandmother, which is a
Yes.
wonderful thing, but it's not the only thing. It's not the only way to describe you. And I think at a certain age, that's the box that people want to put you in.
It is. And I think that that was the struggle I was facing as I was approaching my 60th birthday. I had our first grandson. It was the beginning of COVID. And I was looking at, because it had been a difficult birth and he'd been in the neonatal unit for a while. They didn't want him going into daycare in that first year. So I pitched in and I did part-time daycare. And at around the 6 month mark of that, I'm like, I have raised my children. I don't want to raise more children. I'm not as young as I used to be. And I didn't have the same patience level, the same interest. I love my grandkids. I've got four of them and I love them to death, but I'm not a mom. I'm at that age. I don't want to be a mom. And I had devoted so much of my life to raising a family and caring for the home. I was a stay-at-home mom for years, loved it, absolutely loved it, regret nothing about that choice. But I wanted more. I wanted something for me. And so I had a few books. They hadn't taken off. And then I started writing the Crone books and I found my audience. I found a whole lot of women out there who were looking for themselves in books. And I can deliver that because I'm writing them for me primarily.
Mhm. They can see themselves reflected in your books.
Yes, yes, because the struggles are the same. That invisibility thing and what next? What can I do? The books have been called empowering by readers. And I didn't set out to write an empowering book, but along the way, it empowered me to be writing these books. And women are finding them empowering to read, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, like that's just the best thing ever to be
Mhm.
able to touch a reader in that fashion.
Well, tell me about your process. Do you start with characters? Do you start with a story? I know you mentioned
Yes.
you went to a movie and played the what if game, the
Yeah.
favorite actors or favorite writers game.
Yeah. And the Crone series was the same. I mean, it was a what if a woman of my age, instead of the 16-year-old or the 20-year-old, come discovering that they've got this destiny ahead of them. What if it was someone my age and just learning that she was magical, that she was a witch, and that she had this destiny? And I mean, I'm sorry, but at 60, it's like, wait a minute. No, I'm slowing down. I'm out in the garden, and you want me to what now? So the struggles are different, right? We've lived, we've been devoting our lives to. I think a lot of women, probably most of the women that I've talked to, have devoted their lives to caring for other people, to parents, to children, to their communities, to work. We've done a lot. And you get to an age where it's like, okay, you know what? Now it's about me. And then you're handed this, no, no, you've got to save the world now. It's like, I mean, she's going to do it, but she may not be entirely happy about it.
Right, right.
So,
She's going
yeah,
to need a good nap afterward.
she, she may be just a little bit annoyed that, the rest of the world let it get this bad in the first place. And here she is having to clean up the mess again.
We have mentioned that you write series of books. How do you know when a series is over? And are you sure your series are over?
I have one more book for the Grigori Legacy series that I would like to write eventually. It is not a pressing one. The Crone series, I've got book 6 coming out. I think it ends there. My trilogy, yes, we're done. It's 3 books. It's a trilogy. It's done. And I'm tossing around some other ideas. I've got a couple of ideas of other series that I would like to write. I've actually got an idea for a standalone that I'm working on as well. So it's I usually know most of the way through the first book if it's going to need to continue or want to continue. I am entirely a pantser. I am not a plotter. I have tried plotting, and plotting and I are not buddies. We do not see eye to eye. I can plot and then I'm going to veer off at the first chance and it will look nothing like the plot. And so plotting for me is just like, I may as well not. And just, I work through scenes in my head. I walk the dog, I garden, and I've got scenes running through my head constantly. I am never alone.
Do you write every day?
I try to keep it to 5 days a week. I try to write Monday through Friday and keep my weekends for family. Some as I get closer to deadlines, that tends to blur and panic sets in, and then it's more like 24/7 until the book is done. But I'm trying to avoid that state of panic where deadlines are concerned now because I'm not as young as I used to be, and it is exhausting to live in that state. And you'd think I would have learned better by now, right? Speaking of wisdom,
Some things take a while.
they
What you,
do.
you mentioned deadlines. Are you working with a publisher or an editor?
I am not, I have a copy editor, so I try to keep within her deadlines, her availability. I have a proofreader as well, so I'm always touching base with both of them to make sure that things are lining up. The hard deadlines come because I do sell on Amazon as well as other platforms. And as soon as you put a book up for a pre-order on Amazon, you are locked in to that release date. And if you don't make it, you lose your pre-order privileges. You can't use the pre-order function for a year.
I
They
did
are
not know that.
they are harsh. So it's kind of like oof. So I'm not putting this particular book up just yet for pre-order because I'm not. It is I'm aiming for October, and I've got fingers and toes crossed, but I also know that life gets in the way. And last year I wrote and published 3 books, and I thought that I was going to die by the end of the third one. And I will never do that again.
3 books in 1 year? I'm in
Yeah,
awe.
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, there are a lot of people out there who can do this, and they do it extremely well. And I did it, and the books are great, and I'm proud of them, and I love them, and readers love them. And no, that level of prolificness, for lack of a better word, it's not for me. I have too many other things that I also enjoy doing. I'm 4 grandkids, and we're into garden season now. So, and I have a greenhouse, and I'm very excited about growing things. So,
I
yeah.
am jealous of you. We're still waiting for the ground to be warm enough. I'm sure it's pretty chilly there, but a greenhouse helps.
The greenhouse is helping enormous, and it's a nice happy place. I get to go out and go, oh look, there's green things. We're starting to see buds on the trees now, so I'm starting to get pretty excited about this.
Lydia, are you suggesting that Canadian winters are long and cold? Is that what you
Would
meant?
I say something like that? When I hinted that, oh my God, it has been such a long, cold winter this year.
Yeah.
It really has. And I know that you guys have felt it too. It's just been,
Well, we're
it
just
has,
we're just south of Canada and Michigan, and it's the same. I mean, it's a gray day and it's cool, and yeah.
yeah, it is endless winter this year. And I told my husband yesterday because we've had a couple of really nice days and it's been glorious. So yesterday I told him that if we get more snow this year, everybody can blame me because I did my wardrobe swap yesterday.
Yes.
So it's my fault. I will take responsibility.
How dare you?
Right? I know, but
Now, Lydia, you said that people love your books. Do you get reviews and do you read reviews?
I do get reviews. I do read reviews. I've
Tell me
developed
about some of them.
I mean, they're not all glowing reviews, and some of them are like, seriously, did you read the book? But I've developed a very, very thick skin over the years. Reviews used to cut me to the quick because that was my baby. And no, that's not my baby. That is a story I've written. And the moment I put it out there, it no longer belongs to me. It belongs to my readers. And they will have varying opinions on it.
I was kind of interested in knowing if people were singling out certain things about it, like certain characters that spoke to them or certain actions or settings they loved, but it sounds like maybe not.
They 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 love Claire. Well, okay, and in the Obsidian Sisterhood, they love Sister Monica. I mean, Sister Monica, she is an excommunicated nun with she's got 4 black belts in martial arts, and she runs a women's shelter in Toronto. And I like Claire gets sucked into this thing that she never saw coming, never wanted, and everything. I mean, she ends up working with Claire to save the world in this next book. And but I mean, like, she's tough, she's seen some things. And Claire is was more like me, the stay-at-home mom and the suburban housewife, and had difficulty in her relationship with her son at one point because she wasn't needed the way she was. And so, I mean, two very, very different women. And I mean, readers have connected with each of them in different ways. They feel like Claire is the friend next door, and they feel like Sister Monica is the woman that they've always aspired to be.
Powerful.
And other characters, they love my gargoyle in my Crone Wars series. I have a living gargoyle, and her name is Kevin. And I absolutely, well, there are reasons for that name in the book. And I absolutely adore Kevin. She's snarky and no nonsense. And she's a very, very cool people. And she is a fast favorite with fans. They adore Kevin.
Your novel Becoming Crone won an award and was featured on another podcast. Do you want to tell me about that?
It was a semifinalist in the Book Life Prize that is run by Publishers Weekly. And it was featured on Felicia Day's Felicitations podcast when she was running that in conjunction with Bonnie Burton. And Bonnie and I had known one another on Twitter for a number of years back in the day. And I had sent a copy to Bonnie, and she'd told Felicia about it. And so Felicia Day read my book. I mean, how cool is that? I mean, really. And then she and Bonnie got together on the podcast and discussed it. They reviewed it. And Felicia called it empowering and fun, which I absolutely love, because it's a lot of fun. It's got dark moments, yes, but there's a lot of humor that runs throughout all my books, because that tends to be how I face life. I have a very dark sense of humor. Most things are pretty funny.
I can tell the sense of humor. I don't see the darkness yet. I'll have to read the books. I will have to get there. You love to go on writing retreats. You've been on a number of them, I think. What is that
I
like?
I've done a couple of the group retreats where there's a few of us in the area that go to a center, and we've done that, I think, twice. And it's a lot of writers sitting around writing for hours on end, and it is just the coolest vibe. I mean, this place is huge, so there's all these different rooms, and you walk through, and there's writers on laptops on the sofas, and writers at the dining room table with laptops, and it's really, really cool. Everybody's very intent. And then meal times, we come together and we discuss stories, and we throw out ideas, and if somebody's run into a snag, we talk about it. And the creativity there is amazing. And then I have a writer friend, Marie Bilodeau, and she and I started, I think it was probably around our 7th or 8th retreat. We started this a few years ago. We rent a cottage, and it just happens to have a hot tub, I'm saying. As we specifically look for, does it have a hot tub? Can't go. And she and I have been doing this, and those retreats vary because we go for between 4 to 7 days. We find our sweet spot is around the 5 or 6 mark. And we sometimes we're both under a hard deadline, so there's a lot of writing that happens. And sometimes, this past one, we were both coming out of a lot of family stuff, so it was more of a relaxed vibe, and just recovering and trying to get back into story and decide where we were going with our various books. And, we call it hot tub time. If somebody gets stuck on something, it's out to the hot tub, maybe with a glass of something, and we sit and we discuss this, and then back into the cottage. And I mean, these things are the best. If you can ever find a writing friend to go on retreat with,
I am
I
clearly going to have to do that and make sure there's a hot tub.
Yeah. Oh, the hot tub is a must. It's an absolute, and we usually go in we go in the winter. So this is hot tub in the snow.
Hmm.
It's the best.
Yes, it's nice. What a nice change from the
Yeah.
winter weather.
It's something to look forward to, late February, early March. And it's pretty icky out there.
Lydia, you have a merch shop, which is accessible on your website. We'll put the link there. And I think other writers might appreciate hearing about that too. Was
Oh,
it worth it for you? Is it a lot of work? And I think everything on it, the cups, the t-shirts, is all about your writing philosophy. My favorite phrase, I'm gonna have to get the t-shirt that says, "Buckle up, Buttercup, I'm in my Crone era."
I came up with that for a bookmark that I had printed up for events, and people loved it so much. And they're saying, I need the t-shirts. So I have got, it's a very small merch store. I am going to be adding more things to it because there are so many little things that we can put on mugs for Crones and t-shirts and tote bags. And so, I mean, it was I dragged my heels on doing it because it's not an easy thing to do for someone who is not technically inclined. I
Mhm.
had to find a print on demand store because I was not interested in stocking this stuff and doing mailings from my house. It's like, no. So I worked through Gelato. They are a European company with global distribution points. And quality's been fantastic, shipping's been great. And since I haven't even really told people about the merch store, it just kind of went quietly up onto my site, and I've mentioned it to on my Facebook page, I think maybe once, and I've had a number of sales, and I mean, people they love that buckle up Buttercup one.
I love it. I love it. I would have liked to have been wearing that. I did a video for TikTok and I complained about something, and a man commented and said, "Okay, Grandma, let's get you back to bed." And I would just like to,
That
yes,
that's why I write the books that I write.
I would like to have worn that shirt and done a rebuttal to that.
Yeah, yeah.
But would you recommend to other writers that they have merchandise available?
A lot of other writers do have, I think that it's something that I have a pretty solid fan base now. I have a Facebook, it's a reader group. I call it reader group very loosely because that's what it was started as. But I mean, it's called Crone's Unleashed. And these women are around the globe, and they have taken ownership of this group. My administrator is in Australia. She does a phenomenal job. And they post funny memes and they support one another if somebody's having a bad day. I mean, we've got women from around the world that are coming together and holding one another up and laughing together. And I love these women. I love us. We are awesome, Maureen. We really are. So with that kind of a fan base, then it's worth having some merch because I've got the demand for it. I've got people who are asking for it. When I was first starting out, I thought it would be really cool to have it and so on. And so I did have something up on Redbubble at one point, but it's it's really it's a lot of work, a lot of effort, and there's a cost to setting it up if you have to hire somebody to, make the technical end of things work. So I would take it as a case by case scenario. If you've got the fan base and you think that you've got some like really good slogans and so on, then yes, absolutely. But I would not make it a priority as a writer. I'm
Yep.
not making a lot of money off of it.
I think that probably was a question in a lot of people's minds. So thank you for answering that. Your commitment to your writing recently took the form of a tattoo. That is some serious stuff. Are you going to show it off?
I'm going to
No.
show it off. I'm going to show it off. Can we all see it?
Okay, now this
So,
video, this is going to be on YouTube,
oh,
the
that's
video
fine.
of our conversation, and we will also put the picture of your tattoo in the show notes if anybody's just going to stick with the audio version. Let me see that again. That is massive.
That is, there's a book, and then there's the big crow, and then there's other little crows. And I mean, the artist did just a phenomenal job on it. It's my very first tattoo ever. It was 5 hours.
You went big.
It's go big or go home, Maureen. I did. I went big, and I didn't intend to when I set out to get a tattoo, but it was the right thing to do.
What does
And
it mean? What do the crows in the book mean?
oh, the crows in the book. That's what my Crone Wars is all about. The crows feature heavily in the Crone Wars book. I mean, they are the harbingers of the message bringers. They are associated with the goddess, the Morrigan. And the Morrigan is going to eventually make her way onto the upper arm, so I'll have a more complete sleeve, and I'm very, very excited about
Oh, you're
that.
doing more.
I'm
Wow.
already planning. That'll be the third one. The second one is going to be a little bit softer on the other arm, and it's going to be the birth flowers of all my grandchildren and my children and my parents. So she's going to do like a lovely bouquet on there for me.
Nice. Very good.
Yes,
I hate to say it, we are running out of time. I could talk to you all day, but
same.
what advice do you have for other writers, especially, but not exclusively, women who might be
Mhm.
of a certain age?
You are never, ever, ever too old. Don't let anybody tell you that you're too old. You follow that dream. And it's just, you decide what your dream is. You decide what your definition of success is. If you want to publish one book and you're happy with that, that's success. If you want to write 3 books a year, not recommended, but you can do it. Now, it just do you, be you, support other women who are, doing the same as you or not, and just be there for everybody. Be one of the sisterhood.
And read the books of women writers.
That too, yes, that's really important. So
Are you going to be
yes.
writing for the rest of your life, do you think?
Oh, probably. My husband retired from the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, 7 years ago, and retired and started a whole new career. And he loves what he's doing so much that I don't think he's ever going to stop. And it's like, well, I'm not going to sit around and just garden and crochet all day. There's limited appeal in that. So yes, I will. Plus, the stories never end. Even if I think that I'd like to retire, my brain's going, but what if?
I think I'm going to have you back on in the future and talk more.
I would love that.
This has been wonderful. I feel enriched. I really do. I
Oh, I'm
struggle.
so glad.
I have had someone on who was thinking, how can I start writing at the age of 45? And I thought, oh, you know, you
I
really
was
are never too old.
50. I was 50 when my first book was published. I was just shy of 50.
Oh, that's amazing. That's good
So,
to hear.
yes, I'll be 65 next month.
And I'm in my 60s too.
Yep. And I think, honestly, I am loving this age, absolutely loving it. The getting out of bed and making everything mobile again for the first few steps is, yeah, I could do without that part. But the rest of it, once I am mobile, there's no stopping me.
Ah, well, thank you so much for coming on the Write Like a Badass podcast. You are a badass.
I am. I am a badass crone. So thank you so much for having me on. This has been really a lot of fun.